Welcome to ACP Civil Hub. In this video, we are going to explore the complete three-dimensional structural model of a pre-engineered building project. In this overall isometric view, we can see the complete structural framing arrangement of the building. The model includes the main primary steel frames, roof purlins, wall girts, and different bracing systems that work together to form the complete structure. We can also observe additional framing provided around the entrance and extension areas. In the upcoming slides, we will examine the overall framing system, different elevations, bracing arrangements, and some important steel connections in more detail. So, let us begin with the complete structural model. This side elevation provides a clear view of the building's longitudinal framing arrangement and sloping roof profile. The horizontal wall girts are arranged along the building length to support the wall cladding system. The vertical structural members form the supporting wall framing and transfer loads toward the foundation level. At the central portion, additional steel framing is provided around the large entrance or opening. This view helps us understand how the main structural framing and secondary steel members are coordinated throughout the length of the building. Now, let us look at the structure from another three-dimensional viewing angle. The closely spaced secondary members across the roof form the roof purlin system. These members support the roofing system and transfer the applied roof loads to the primary structural frames. Along the perimeter of the building, horizontal wall girts provide support for the external wall cladding. We can also observe the primary structural frames and different bracing members that contribute to the overall stability of the building. This view clearly demonstrates how the primary and secondary steel members are integrated to create the complete structural framing system. This longitudinal elevation shows the wall framing arrangement along the full length of the PEB structure. The horizontal wall girts provide support for the external wall cladding and are connected to the vertical framing members. At selected bays near the upper portion of the structure, X-bracing is provided as part of the building's longitudinal stability system. These bracing members help transfer lateral forces through the structural system to the supporting frame and foundation. This elevation gives us a clear understanding of how the wall framing and bracing systems are arranged along the length of the building. This top view shows the overall roof framing arrangement of the PEB structure. The regularly spaced secondary members form the roof purlin system, which supports the roof sheeting and transfers roof loads to the main structural frames. At selected locations, diagonal members form X-bracing systems between the structural frame lines. These braced bays form an important part of the longitudinal stability system of the building. This top view provides a clear understanding of the distribution of roof secondary members and the strategic placement of the roof bracing system. Now, we can see another complete side elevation of the building. The sloping roof profile is clearly visible at the top, while the horizontal wall girts are arranged at different levels along the side of the structure. The vertical structural members form the main and secondary wall framing system. In the central portion, additional framing is provided around the large opening or entrance area. This elevation helps us understand the relationship between the roof profile, wall girts, vertical framing members, and the additional framing provided around the opening. Now, let us move closer and examine some of the important steel connections in the three-dimensional model. This close-up view shows an important bolted connection between the main structural members. The primary steel members are joined through connection plates and multiple bolts. Stiffening elements are also visible around the connection zone. These additional plates help strengthen the connection region and assist in transferring forces between the connected structural members. This three-dimensional view allows us to understand the actual arrangement of the connection components much more clearly than an overall model view. This close-up view shows the steel column base connection. At the bottom of the column, a steel base plate is provided to transfer the column forces to the supporting foundation or pedestal. The base plate is secured using anchor bolts, together with nuts and washers. Stiffening plates are also visible around the lower portion of the steel column. This connection forms the important interface between the steel superstructure and the supporting foundation system. The loads from the steel column are transferred through the base plate and anchoring system to the supporting concrete structure. This close-up view shows a bolted splice connection in the main structural frame, together with a knee-by bracing connection. The main frame segments are connected using end plates and multiple bolts. Stiffening and reinforcement plates are also visible around the connection region to strengthen the joint and support effective load transfer. In addition to the main frame splice, we can also observe the connection of a diagonal bracing member near the frame. This view demonstrates how the primary structural connection and the stability system can be coordinated within the same structural zone. This slide shows a typical rafter-to-rafter connection used in the PEB framing system. The connecting members are joined through bolted steel connection plates to provide a secure structural connection and transfer forces between the rafters. Proper alignment, connection plate positioning, and bolt installation are important for the overall stability of the framing system. This close-up view shows a secondary steel member connected to a supporting main structural member. The secondary member is attached through a bolted connection arrangement using a connection plate. A triangular stiffening plate is also visible in the connection zone. The connection transfers forces from the secondary framing member to the supporting primary structure. This type of three-dimensional close-up is useful for understanding the actual position of connection plates, bolts, and supporting members within the complete structural model. This view shows secondary structural members connected to a supporting main steel member. The secondary members are attached through connection plates and bolted connections. The positioning of the connection plates and bolts can be clearly observed in this three-dimensional model. These connections allow forces from the secondary framing system to be transferred to the main supporting structure. This view also demonstrates how multiple secondary members can be coordinated around a common primary structural member. This view clearly shows the wall X-bracing system of the PEB structure. Two diagonal bracing members cross each other to form an X-shaped arrangement within the selected structural bay. This bracing system contributes to the longitudinal stability of the building and helps transfer lateral forces through the structural framing system. The horizontal wall girts and surrounding vertical framing members are also visible. Together, the wall framing and bracing system form an important part of the overall stability arrangement of the PEB structure. This slide shows the canopy connection detail in the PEB structure. The main canopy beam is connected to the supporting structure, while the secondary canopy members are fixed to the main beam through bolted end connections. Additional brackets and supporting members are provided near the main frame connection to maintain stability and transfer the canopy loads safely into the main structural system. This arrangement creates a secure and practical connection between the canopy framing and the main PEB structure. This close-up view shows the connection arrangement of diagonal bracing members within the steel framing system. The bracing members are connected to the supporting structural members through connection plates and bolted joints. These connections allow the bracing system to transfer lateral forces into the main structural framing. The three-dimensional model helps us clearly understand the position and orientation of the bracing members and how their end connections are integrated with the surrounding steel structure. Finally, This close-up view shows a steel column base connection together with diagonal support members connected on both sides. At the bottom, the steel column is supported on a base plate secured by anchor bolts. The inclined support members are connected to the main framing through bolted connection plates. This arrangement demonstrates how different structural components can come together around the lower portion of the frame. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this short overview helped you understand the complete PEB structure, including the framing system, elevations, bracing arrangements, important steel connections, column base details, anchor bolts, and secondary members. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and leave your feedback in the comments. Subscribe to ACP Civil Hub and press the bell icon for more practical civil and structural engineering videos. In the next video, we will explain the PEB roof framing and sheeting layout in detail. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.